What's going on?
We are back.
Internet, we're back.
We are live. We are live. It might seem like we're not, but we are. So we are actually here in the physical form, not AI.
We're
At least right. Yeah,
I can
at
feel
least
this.
right now we're not AI. So yeah. No chat GBT. This is just us. So welcome back, guys, and happy New Year to everybody as well. Yeah. Happy New Year to everyone. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Hey, way to start 2026, right? You know, we wouldn't start it any other way. So
We wouldn't be here
happy New
without
Year to
you.
everyone. We would not. We would not. Our first official stream of 2026, bro. Isn't that crazy? You know? Day two,
That's
and
crazy. We beat them all to the punch.
yeah, we're early. So next thing we could have been doing is popping champagne live on stream.
Yeah. Oh, we got to do the midnight one year.
Yeah,
Podcast though.
That would be a heck of a podcast.
yeah, that might be the last one. Very well.
That might be the
Well,
last one.
It will be the
Last one of Mouse will
That's
let us
pretty
have.
funny.
Yeah, we would go out in a bang. So, you know,
You know,
and
I'm
these are all recorded, so it's not like the internet would find it at some point. Somebody would see it.
I declare that the last episode of Carbonite Bounty BS will be champagne episode for Scott. No.
There we go.
Well, you have to pregame at least, then. Like we gotta get like the slurry Scott like after, like, you know, when it's like you had one too many.
Yeah, you got to get Pirates opener Scott out here. Gotta be careful.
Arr. Place the mainsail.
What happened
Shiver
to
me timbers.
Rum?
Yeah, you were on mute for a second there. There we go. You're back, teammates. You're back.
Oh man. So anyway,
George is after me. I haven't even been talking
Yeah.
bad about Star Wars. Crazy.
it's been a nuts of a time. Ohio State, God. Cashier. I really feel like the Ohio State game was just revenge from that Miami Ohio State game from like 2002, the Willis McGahee game. No.
Was it 2002 or 2001? One of the two.
2002 season because I was in college. Yeah. It was Maurice Claret when he ripped the ball back out of.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you chased him down or whatever. Yeah. Who was that? Sean. He checked out Sean Taylor, right? Yeah.
That is
correct. Yesterday.
What a nutso. So anyway, Ohio did they did Miami won, and I think Miami. That's okay. The Steelers, the Browns. What do I have to even talk about? Nothing.
Right. I mean, who would have thought? You know, like I said, this is going on. We got Star Wars content. Indiana actually has a football team. I mean, like, bro, we might be in an alternate reality right now.
I think we are starting off.
If the Steelers could give away a game to any team, it would be the Browns.
They're playing for a trophy.
We'll take it.
Bro.
We'll take it.
They're playing for the AFC North Championship, man. Come on now.
It's not the end of the world. But if you told me that 2016 was the year they started the simulation for this Indiana University football team, and that's like why we're all here, is because someone did a franchise mode on a video game set in 2016. We're all just background characters, just part of like when they flip through like to get to the college football podcast, we're the bump. Because sometimes you'll land on our podcast, and our entire lives and existences and experiences are just leading up to provide the background for that chatter on a video game
I
that advanced.
And
I
what
don't
would you
even think
say
you can,
about that? You'd be like, yeah, that's gonna happen for real.
bro. I don't think you can simulate Indiana to be good on any video game, bro.
That's
Like
how
if you
you
simulated it, that's crazy. That's like Wyoming is going to be good at some point. Like, come on, man. It's not.
I love that your your standard of reality is if college football is so corruptible that Indiana can win. Like that's how you know it's definitely not a simulation because the auto commish would definitely prevent anything like that from happening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
16 or something like that.
Yeah. But no, guys. I mean, it's like I said, it's great to be back. Great to catch up on life, and it's great to catch up on Star Wars content. It's crazy enough. We have some projects coming up soon. We got a movie coming up. I mean, you know, Ahsoka at some
Man,
point. You know, we just don't.
at
You know,
some
a lot.
point, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been pushed a little bit. So yeah, at some point we'll be getting that. Um, but no, we'll obviously dive into our review. But before we even dive into the review of our Visions episode 3, let's let our guy DP do the first housekeeping of the year.
Nerdcyclopedia.com, people. Welcome to 2026. We are still on the internet, so thank you for that. Thank you for watching us. Make sure that you're going to your website. And, you'll see all our social media platform at Nerdcyclopedia. We're on Twitter, X now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And make sure that you are listening to us on podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Play, Odyssey, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. Guess what? We're there. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for that. Smash the subscribe button and hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on, right? If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure that you share and subscribe. So thank you for that. Leave us an email too. We love getting the emails. We're at nerdcyclopedia feedback@gmail.com. And it's still free in 2026 to send us an email, right, Ken?
Yeah, it's all free. And right now everyone needs a little bit of free. A little bit of free that they
Just a
don't
little
have
bit.
to pay for. Just a little bit.
The tariffs won't affect your the email, guys. So go ahead and just send us a shot.
Yeah. Now, if you want a can of pork, like baked beans along with that, then you might be paying a little bit. But email itself is free.
Man, my
It is free.
year 2026 is going to be fingerless gloves, fires and barrels, and right, mine's baked beans. That's
And a cough. You just can't kick. You're just gonna have this cough that you just can't get rid of, no matter what you do, no matter how much Theraflu or nighttime NyQuil. You just can't kick this cough, and you're gonna have it all summer, and it's gonna go away. Yeah, I mean,
You need one of those fallout. What's they call that? The med pack. You need to get stabbed with the needle, the jab. Let's get a stim pack, and you'll be, get a stim pack. You'll be
yeah, right.
Fallout.
And you gotta wait. And you might need two. You might need two. You might, and you go grab another one and watch the health bar go up to like maybe 80%, and then you're good.
Yeah, bro. This is the year of HP, right?
That's what we need. That's what we need. Yeah, that's what we need. We all need health bars above our heads. So like when we're doing this, we know
health bar.
We know where we stand. Really, like I'll show you weapons and everything. We should all have a health bar.
That's crazy. That's something for a move right there. Just put health bars in front of all the characters' heads, just because.
Just because we need to know, like, how's Steel City doing? Is he like at 50%, 60%? Maybe he got knocked. Maybe he got knocked out. Maybe he was like at 15 now.
Give that guy some fish. Get him or put his health bar up. Something.
Every time the Steelers threw a pass last Sunday.
Oh man!
It goes.
Oh well.
Self-inflicted damage.
What are you gonna do? It's a thing.
Little hit points, -1s coming off of us, -1, -10. Anyway.
Yeah. Definitely.
Operate. If you're obsessed with the health part, you can't operate, right? We've all
You
played.
can't.
That's the case. You do. Anyone ever done a one-hit knockout run of something? It's really,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
I have one. I think I've one time ever in my life, like gone through like Super Mario Brothers 1 without like making a mistake and getting hit or anything
Oh,
like
you
that.
mean like flawless victory type shit? No, no way, bro.
I
I
mean,
wish.
that's what it's like thinking about that. And I mean,
That's crazy, bro.
yeah, that was a brag. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you meant like in a fighting game. Like I've got like one hit before. Like I've played in like Mortal Kombat tournaments, and bro, I have this recording. I got hit with a 46 hit combo, bro. You couldn't if he like would keep parrying you. I've never seen it in my life. We had to record it. Like it's crazy that this guy like did a move and like 46 hits later, my whole health bar is gone. I didn't even get to touch him.
It was a because I kind of remember getting. I remember getting swept by the long reach of the staff in the Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
like
2, like back in the old days of online.
yeah, this is like the arcade type days where it's you
Yeah, the
actually
cat
had to use a joystick.
46.
But yeah, guys, I guess we'll dive into this episode of Star Wars, which kind of summarizing it, bro. We always beat on this dead horse, and bro, it's now like 20. When did that movie come out? Episode 7, 2017.
It was like 2015.
So it's like 10, 11, 11 years ago, bro. And like this is what
10
like
years ago. Wow.
this is what that should have been. Like the character, the setup, like this episode could have been what episode 7 should have been. Not like a rehash of 4, but this story, I mean, it was and it's obviously there's flaws, it's bare, but like this Kara character and like the droids, like I just thought like this would have been a fresh story. That's why I liked it. It kind of reminded me of like a rehash of like what a new trilogy would like the bare bones of it.
Yeah, and they told in like 21 minutes
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
That's an amount of time.
of all things.
I had that much time. I don't always have 3 hours. I had 21 minutes spread out over the day. You know what I mean? Like I could
Yeah, I was telling City off Mike Mike and everything that this was probably out of the episodes I've seen so far. This is probably my favorite one. It had the most tension, it had the most conflict. It had the better plot. The animation. Was I wasn't privy to the animation. It was some the animation that was good to me. But it was good overall. As compared to like the other ones and everything. All the other ones have been great. This one is my favorite so far. Like I said, the conflict between the twins. And I was telling Still City, like they're leaning more towards anime. It just seems like that's just how the vibe is so far with all these animated Vision episodes for season 3, while the other seasons have been like a variety of different styles and all that stuff. This season seems like, so far as I've seen it, they're leaning heavily towards the anime side, and I guess they're realizing where the bread is being buttered at.
Oh yeah, for sure. That Crunchyroll's like the number one was like a top streaming platform, and that's straight anime. I mean, these K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, yeah, anime is where it's at. I mean, shit, it's not this podcast, but Stranger Things has a fucking anime coming out. Like animation right now, you're right, DP is like really this. Everybody's jumping on and catching the wave. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these stories, I mean, are kind of where it's at. And we talked about it. I wish they maybe just took one of these visions and made it a movie or just tried something different, give us an animation movie. I know they've done some of the Christmas specials and whatnot, but like give us a full length movie in this format.
Yeah.
I like that these cartoons all have their own personality. And a word I've used, and I've used it talking to DP, get off mic. It's stupid for us to do because we do this on mic. But it's flavor. All of these have flavor, and I think sometimes when you cater to a very, very, very broad audience, and the movies frankly have to, because that's what they are. They're very expensive, and they try to, they have to be profitable. But when you go all the way, you lose flavor, and it's a little bit bland. And I think, T. Mitch, to your point, I mean, Kara is an interesting character. Is she more interesting than Rey? I mean, think about that for a second. Like, would you prefer to see another episode of Rey's story, another episode of Kara's story? And it's hard to,
Kara.
I think, exactly. It's hard to say that you would pick Rey. So I think there is, I think we maybe have a sense of missed opportunities with the sequel trilogy, and we've talked our way through that many times. Lack of consistent messaging and
Right.
style. I think would be my
Yeah.
summary.
That's a fair assumption.
But here, there's more freedom to operate in these alternate worlds, because here, if something's not aligned with exactly the way it is in the movies, it's okay because it's permitted to be different. And I think it's important to remember that in a fandom as vocal and predisposed toward doom, like the Star Wars fandom, you need sometimes to loosen up. I mean, it's not a religion. Like, we don't really believe that Darth Vader exists and is coming to our planet. And I wouldn't want him to come to our planet, but we don't really think that.
What?
He's not?
What are you talking about now?
I knew that would get a response out of Kid.
Here comes the podcast, Kid, and this is what ends the show, right? Is some of us believe it's fiction, well, not, and so we'll have to bring up. But it's not to be that serious about it. You know what I mean? It's not the great religious figures of Earth. It's not. It doesn't matter ultimately, right? It doesn't matter if the Force is for everyone in the Star Wars universe or nobody in the Star Wars universe. None of us have those powers, so who cares? So I think this anime is giving us all the license to just enjoy a story a little bit, and if it doesn't line up with our own headcanon and our own predispositions and the things that we think about Star Wars and what matters to us about Star Wars, I think it allows us to actually enjoy it. And I think that there is something to that could maybe speak to why so many people ended up dissatisfied with the sequel.
You know what I'm really digging with this Vision series, and is the animation, because it provides freedom to the storytellers because they're not restricted. Now, I don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot going on behind the animation. It's not just like drawing a stick figure and then putting color to it and then fleshing it out. I mean, there's a lot there, but budget wise, I think if you're going to do a space battle, doing it in animation is much easier and gives you a lot more freedom as far as what you can have done. Barrel rolls with a spaceship, with a starship, and blasters and turrets and all kinds of stuff. So much easier to do on a storyboard in this fashion than if you're trying to do it with models or actual starships or making it look real. So that's one thing. I'm really liking this. I love the vehicle that they're using, meaning the animation, just to push the story. I really dig that these Jedi, who are all on the run, have these really expressive ways of sort of finding their way in this new universe where they are hated, they are chased, they don't have a place, but they're able to carve out a purpose for themselves. There's that, and then there's these really great characters of these Jedi hunters. I mean, we're getting this really graphic, rich sort of samurai warrior slash robot slash droid looking characters that all are sort of, I mean, these are like new characters for me anyway, as a Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm not used to Jedi being hunted, but I think this is a great new way that we can get these characters easily, and I buy into them, and I'm digging the whole storyline. Kara is a great young Jedi with superpowers. I mean, but she doesn't know what to do with them yet. And Disney's getting their hand in there too, because we've got this cutesy little Wall-E kind of inspired robot.
Teto.
Yeah, Teto, and emotion going on with the cartoon, because when Teto realized that his master, who he'd been waiting, I'm guessing hundreds of years to see again, actually had died, and I really felt emotion for him and the whole thing. It felt real. And here's a 3-minute cartoon that was eliciting human emotion from me. I think they did a really good job there. Stuff that I haven't really gotten from the Star Wars storylines in the past, the newer movies and TV shows. And here's what I love about Star Wars is it is relatable. I guess that's my bottom line. These stories are all relatable to me. I get them, and I would watch them again and again and again. Would I like to see a 2-hour story movie on any of these? Maybe, but I like the little chunks that we're getting. I think 21 to 24 minutes is perfect.
Yeah,
for me.
It's definitely a good
if anything
spot.
that if anything, if it was like things Still City was saying that they're going to do like they're going to do a spin-off series of episode 3. So if and they're catching on the same ideas, I think it's a consensus. That are we all saying that episode 3 is probably our favorite so far? It's like the
I would say
so far and everything. So
I've watched ahead. There's a couple other episodes coming up that I think are a little not better, but a little more bang to them. But I dig this one. If they would give us the story of Kara and her dad, and maybe the struggles that she had during her training. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that for sure.
This probably gives us like the most ideas, the most inspiration, versus like some of the other stuff. Like I said, you've seen some stuff ahead, Ken. So I'm just gonna go by what you say and everything. But this gives the spinoff vibes. Is what Steel City was saying. So I'm totally digging it. The character, those two character twins. I mean, that's just gold right there. You can't go wrong with twins. One being good, one being evil.
Evil, yeah, for real.
It's crazy part. I'm pretty sure Kara was Rey's original name. It was either Kara or Kira, but the character that Rey is now, that was the original name that Disney Star Wars had dubbed the lady heroine to be.
The name was not the problem with that.
We know that.
We all know. It was the snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
But at least, yeah.
Just kidding. Literally, the only guy that's ever been the emperor of everywhere is her granddad. I mean, that would be the thing they would say. They call her a nepo baby now, right? No matter what she does.
Yeah.
What I mean? Let's say Barron Trump renounces the whole Trump name, goes off to some aircraft decommissioning place and lives there for 20 years, and then suddenly comes back and I don't know, blows up a meteor or something weird.
Yeah, and says at the end his name is Barron Biden or something like that.
Yeah. I'll be like, no, that's not how that. You know what I mean? That's not how that works. You would be like, actually, that was that guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I mean, would you trust? Let me ask this question: would you actually trust Rey Palpatine, even if she changed her name to her married name?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
You'd be suspicious. I would be very suspicious.
I don't think you'd have a choice. You'd have to trust her.
But Ken, when you think about the story of Star Wars, though, like the name Palpatine to become a Jedi, bro, that would make it so full circle, though. If she really carried that, and if they rolled with that story like that.
Yeah, because that would bring it all the way back, even before Phantom Menace,
right? Because I'm sure that Palpatine was corrupted at some point in his life, right?
Seen as a historical.
Well, if he was corrupted, then that means he was good at some point.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying. That would make
Right.
the Palpatine story full circle as well. So like father, son, granddaughter, father.
I don't
like,
know. Wasn't Palpatine born evil? Like,
Well, nobody's
No, nobody's born
more.
evil.
No, nobody's born evil.
Floss.
So I guess the question is,
You become evil gradually over time because you're selfish and lazy. That's why. Because you're inherently.
Well,
is anybody born good?
It takes a lot of work to be that evil. I mean, you don't just like bounce through life being. You got to work at it.
It's true, but look, these like for where we are for Rey, basically, it's like 50 years after that war. So it'd be like, well, we were growing up. If someone had an argument with someone, and on one side you had them saying Hitler is the worst person that's ever lived, and presenting all this evidence about Hitler being evil and terrible. And then I came in and I was like, Stalin was the worst person that ever lived. And I just start producing,
Right.
And
Mussolini was the worst person that ever lived. And
yeah, so like if all of a sudden
General Mao was the worst one that ever lived. It's your perspective too, because if you weren't on the side of their evil, you wouldn't think they were that evil unless you were actually affected by it.
Right. So there'd be some people that just think he's, misguided and did what he had to do to protect his people, and whatever, the Jedi really were a problem. We really did have to exterminate them because they actually did. There'd be a lot of people with maybe that minority, maybe it isn't minority, political viewpoint.
If you had the best interests of the people in mind, and was that actually evil? Are you pure evil?
There's somebody at a cantina holding like whatever.
At a cantina, yeah.
At a cantina saying, well, how many people were on the Death Star?
Planning on shooting first, apparently.
They'd all be doing it. We all know. But I like, Ninth Jedi said 1,000 years in the future. So it's like, it's not, it would be like having an argument of like, was Genghis Khan worse than, I don't know, like, pick your random like English king who, got rid of heretics or whatever. It's a hard argument to have, and that perspective, right? That 1,000 years is going to change the way you see horrific tragedy. I believe
they just get reincarnated, into somebody else. I understand what you're saying. So,
anyway, my point is that none of us would trust like Dolores Hitler, right? Could not run everything, right? We'd be like, it can't really be. It has to be a coincidence, like, right? It has to be. And they'd be like, no, it's real. Then they'd be like, well, we'll do genetic testing. Nope, it's real. That's really Dolores Hitler, granddaughter of the real Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, and we're gonna let her be in charge of the entire Jedi Order.
Dolores? Dolores? I would be more concerned about the name Dolores than the last name
Dolores.
She obviously, Dolores. All right, popular name. She's an older lady. It's probably unlikely that she's just gonna
40s, 50s, yeah.
She's like, no, she's 80 years old. Leave her alone. She's Mrs. Hitler, and she'd like to be in charge. We'll make her, we'll let her be in charge. I don't know, like, what's a venerated institution left in the United States? The Yankees, New York Yankees. She can run that. That's her thing.
She could run the.
Let her out of Dodgers, man.
Nope, that's a hard no. Not out of Dodgers. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's on my mind tonight.
No, it's an open conversation.
She doesn't have any of that baggage, right? She's not Dolores Hitler. She's just some Jedi 1,000 years away, very far away from all these events about which we will quibble about the tiniest little detail and then fight each other to the death about it.
I think one of the striking visuals of this episode was the fact that how cool cool her uniform was. How her whole thing. It was the whole visual was like really good. Between the both of them actually. That's something that I think that these episodes can sort of like inspire maybe future down on. Hopefully, they could take tidbits and of these ideas and incorporate them. Somehow at least just get inspiration. But I thought the episode really gave way to the way the look, of the twins and everything, and how that could just. God, I can't wait till till the spinoff comes, to see how they further, canonize or go about their build out the universe as far as this.
Yeah, I mean, you make it a good point though. I mean, like when you look at even like we talk about costuming, it's kind of very linear. I mean, like we have obviously like the whatever this is now, this era that's been, after Yavin, and it seems like they're like going back and dressing things the same way to where like there was an old Republic era. They all kind of look like kind of like medievalish. You know what I mean? So like you're right. I just think that they even when we do the real time production stuff, like try a little bit more risky. Like when we saw even as shitty as it was the Acolyte, like they're a little more risky with the what's his name, the Smilo Ren or whatever dude,
And he just
like
sent it's his name.
yeah, let's just say Manny Jacinto because I don't know who the hell he
Yeah,
was, but anyways, yeah,
Milo
like
Ren.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, bro, they tried on the helmet, like his costuming, even the fight sequences. Like whenever the lightsaber shooters he had, like that to me, I mean, as shit as the show was, at least she was taking chances with different weaponry. The lightsabers. Like that's all I think we ask for. If we're gonna go into the future and try something new, let's just not keep it status quo. I mean, dude, we've seen the same goddamn lightsaber hilt for the last 30 years. Like you would think outside of
Yeah,
Kylo Ren, we'd get one other one, right? Kylo Ren's the only lightsaber you've seen like, oh, that's bad as hell. He has crossguard on it. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this one actually had the lightsaber,
It,
the wits and stuff, which
yeah,
I thought was cool. I never seen that before.
I always thought Dooku's was sort of out of the ordinary. His hilt, because it was curved,
kind of belt, yeah, like
and
a kind of
and and his
costume.
his his style was backhanded as opposed to forward. I mean, he had a. So I think they started to give us a little bit of difference within the canon, within the films that we were, the story that we were enjoying, and then it. I mean, Ahsoka's sabers and her fighting style. I mean, I think they're doing it. They're giving us some,
But think about it, Ken.
expression.
But like DP's saying, that's all animation. Ahsoka's an animated character. I mean, we can say the same thing about Ezra Bridger. His is like a goddamn is a
It's a blaster. It's a
yeah,
blaster
it's a
with a
blaster. Yeah,
lightsaber. Yeah.
yeah. All the animation stuff that you're right is it's all the animations driving everything
and
forward
and
to where
and,
like
and that's what I'm saying. They can do whatever they want in
yeah.
the animated world. They can, and the costumes they can have
They can make whatever they
20,000
want.
different, yeah, anything they want, different colors, different fat. They can simulate fabrics and skin tones with the characters. They can,
Hmm.
it's so much easier in that world than in the real world. And I love the creatures, and I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting like an emotional attachment during the show to these cartoons. I mean, it's pretty great. So
The
I
robots.
vote that they keep this going, like this Vision series. I like it.
And I
Like you
like
said, they
how
made us wait like what 10 years between the seasons here. I don't know.
It felt like
Don't,
it.
that
yeah, it felt like don't do that to us.
you never know when you fire up one of these if it's going to be, like a serialization or its own thing,
Yeah.
or a springboard, like a prequel to a bigger thing. And I like that variety. It's really interesting to me, and it's one of the things I've always liked getting from Star Wars is like a flavor. I don't know why I like flavor so much, like, but I enjoy the differences, and I like that knowing that while there's more of this story, that we're going to get something different
Hmm.
next week when we come back and talk about the next episode of season.
For sure. It's a good thing to discuss. But yeah, like I said, obviously, for listeners out there, these short stories, typically aren't the longest, but for us, it's really about like we're talking about grasping certain aspects of them. And it allows us to be able to debate and talk about stories and things like this. I mean, It's just, and we talk about this, right? Not only in Star Wars, but like media. It's just, it's in such a weird place right now. Movies. I mean, whatever you are streaming, like I mean, DP hit it on the head. Like, really, animation's really driving things right now. I mean, whether you guys want to debate on if you guys are fans of Stranger Things, like, there's just a lot of things in the media right now that, like, they build up all this, and then Stranger Things was gone for what, 5 years, and it comes back, and that's what you get. Like, you know, this Visions. I mean, this, for me at least, this delivers, and that was what, 6 months, 7 months later than it should have been, and we didn't even know we were getting it. We got that Tales of the Dark Side, and I'm thinking like, damn, this is going to be only animation, and then they say, hey, yeah, Vision season 3. So hopefully they're working with some studios. Hopefully the Toriyama studio and the Dragon Ball studio for Visions 4. Like, that's still my cry. Can I get a Dragon Ball style episode? Like of Visions 4. I mean, come on.
Oh, it's
Come on.
coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
That will be the
they're
ultimate.
they're practically there.
If they can do that episode, like, I need, first off, I need more than 20 minutes, because as we know with Toonami and Dragon Ball, we're gonna have 7 commercials, right? And we're gonna
Yeah,
power up for 2
one
episodes.
Super Saiyan segment's going to be at least 15
Exactly.
minutes by itself.
We might have, like, instead of the
Okay.
Namekian saga, we might have like the Tatooine saga, where somebody's just standing on Tatooine powering up for three episodes. So,
Oh, give me an Akira style type, Star Wars episode anime. You got me. I'm
But
there.
if that would be nice if they shot something back that kind of that, like, Neo Japan style. Yeah, that would be real fun to do something like that. Because they can do it with the speeders, or you know what, you're right.
Mhm.
What if they took like a Han Solo type character and did the
Mm.
Akira style? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a
Mhm.
Jedi, but it can be street level, and that would be really cool
Yeah.
to do a real
Yeah.
street
Yeah.
level. I mean, because that's something we miss. Street level Star Wars. That's something we talked about. We don't get a lot of. So
Yeah. Just
Work
bring it
on
back to basics.
Star Wars.
That's a good thing.
I want heists,
Yeah.
robberies. I want dirty, despicable desperados like Cad Bane. I want
for sure.
the worst type of people. The people like Han Solo at the beginning of Star Wars Episode 4. Just gross, just shoot a fly body person. Right first, immediately, without even thinking about it. Those type of people. That's what makes.
Well, that's what they sort of tried with the last with Tales of the Jedi or whatever. The last one
Tales
they
of the
did
Dark
with
Side.
the
Did that,
yeah, Tales of the Dark Side. I don't think that hit as well, and that's something that we actually skipped over for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
My thing is, the real problem with the Acolyte is everybody had good intentions. They were trying to help these kids. The mother was loving. Everybody was just like doing their best, damn it. And that's what the problem was. There was nobody in there just being gross and terrible and trying to like selfishly like benefit. If they had that, I think that show would have had the magic sauce. But everybody was like, it's like, I understand. And I want to take this person to be trained with a Jedi, otherwise they'll go crazy like most people must do. It's like, oh, I want her to be safe, and I love her so much, I don't want her to go. Like that. Someone should have been had an ulterior motive, and we find out nobody did. Nobody. It was just
Dolores Hitler.
Dolores
Hitler.
That should be the thumbnail of today's show. Dolores.
Dolores
Hitler. We might get some traction
Where-
on that. Dolores Hitler.
But for Dolores Hitler for like state treasurer, no, you would not. You would just be like, no.
Yeah.
I would definitely put her in charge of the army. I would definitely put her in charge of like our Air Force.
What about Jimmy Stalin? Anybody voting for Jimmy Stalin?
That sounds like a Western PA quarterback. No,
Sure, like tax collector.
My high school football.
Western PA quarterback.
like a good whip-yo quarterback. Jimmy Stalin, a gunslinger, literally.
He started for Cal Unit.
I generally think Globe is sort of like shied away from having a last name Hitler. Since
It's probably there's a lot of trips down to the county courthouse to get your name changed. If you happen to come across that one, you're like, it's kind of cool around Halloween, but other than that,
right.
One of those Simpsons bits where everyone punches Homer in the face.
You may find Stalin, somewhere in there. Hitler, probably not.
It'd be funny, if you went out to dinner and that was your name and they called the name, Hitler Party of Four. You definitely get a table up front or at least near the door.
Yeah.
Depending on the establishment, man, you might boot it out. If you're in a some place where you're not supposed to be.
What if you
like a real kosher deli of some sort?
Kosher?
Like
would it be worse
leave.
like they don't want you around, like at the deli, or would it be worse when you go somewhere and they're just so excited you're there? Like, we can't believe you're finally here.
Yeah, right. We're so honored that you
Waiting for you
decided to come to our establishment for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I guess it could go both ways.
I don't know why in this scenario Dolores Hitler's so reasonable. You know what I mean? I can appreciate the irony that anywhere they go, they're hated.
Anywhere there.
That's really the lesson here is don't commit atrocities and invade your neighbors and be a historical monster. And if that's the lesson we all learn, society will be better. I think.
It will be. It will be, and it is a good segue to
right now. That's the lesson.
And that is the lesson.
That's
And right
your
now,
Star Wars
somewhere,
lesson.
there is someone named Dolores Hitler, and her ears just like perked up because she happened to be listening to our podcast live, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that's me." She's emailing
calling my
us right
name.
Yeah.
Some of you guys know that some of Hitler's family actually was in the United States because they'd emigrated 40 years before when the name was just another one of those rando names.
Name.
The grandparents, the grandkids had to change their name or something, just they won't get teased in school.
Yeah, could you just imagine, oh yeah, I grew up with a kid named Hitler. Nobody even cared. It was just like 1926. No one would give a shit. Maybe
Dave Hitler.
Dave Hitler. Yeah, Dave Hitler. He, he had a Mustang. You know what I mean? He was really good at geometry. Worked out the movie theater. Dave Hitler.
He was really good at geometry.
I don't know why he had SSO on his license plate all the time. I could never figure that out.
Yeah, he kept drawing these little shapes and designs all over his desk, carving them into his desk. And no one paid him no mind, though. That was what it was. No
favorite
one
colors was white and red, and black.
He always wore an armband for no reason, and we never knew why.
I'm Dave
No
Hitler.
reason. Dave Hitler.
That's the job I'm suited for. I get take care of this right away. Don't Dave.
Fun times, guys. But before we get cut off the internet by the Germans,
or the mouse.
Yeah, or the mouse. Yeah. So before we actually really get killed, appreciate everybody for coming back for the first episode of 2026. And until next week, guys, this is the way.
This is the way.